Hi, I'm Marcin Kurek, and I want to tell you today about how to find and invest in the next rising star. So, as a rising star, I mean the company which gets to the level of 100 million like equity or a revenue. Yeah. So, like those companies are like our target as entrepreneurs and also as investors. So I will tell it like basing on my experience, and my experience is like going from being entrepreneur to the venture capital, and in the middle being also the business angel. So I started like 6 years ago with founding my own startup. It was called Niania.pl. It was a marketplace for babysitters. I'm not sure why does it not work. What can we do with that? Okay. To go back a bit. All right. So I started in 2008 with my own startup. It was the Niania.pl. So it was a marketplace for babysitters. Then it developed to the group of web services, recruitment web services like targeting families and households. And it was a 3 years adventure because after 3 years I sold it, and we had the exit to the Swiss media company Edi Presse. Then after that I became the private investor, business angel, and it took me like 1 year of still like working for my own startup and also investing in other projects. So I invested in Brenly.com, Zadane.pl, which recently got a great, decent investment from the huge fund from Silicon Valley. Also, I invested in Znany Lekarz, so the dog planner, which is already like active in 25 countries, and a few other projects. There was a German startup, Wummelkiste, also the SaaS project Shoplo, the SaaS project Positionally, and the marketplace for food delivery. It was Skubasz.pl. After that, we were pretty successful with my team as being like business angels, so we decided to start the venture capital to do this, to do all those things like more seriously. So we started in 2013, and we collected around 6 million euros on investments from the entrepreneurs, business angels, managers, also soccer players. For example, one of our investors is Robert Lewandowski. Within a year, we invested in like 9 companies so far, and we focus mainly on marketplaces, and which is like Mustache, which is a marketplace for fashion, the Alani, which is the lead generation also related with fashion, Dogry.pl, which right now expands into other markets with the brand GameKit. It's the very smart lead generation for browser games. Then a really cool startup called Twoja.suknia.pl, which is a marketplace and lead generation for wedding dresses, so very niche but really sexy market. And Lady Time, which is in fact booking.com for health and beauty services. Yeah? So it's like Znany Lekarz or booking.com, but targeting this sector. Then we also invest in software as a service projects. So we invested in Shoplo, a really cool CMS platform to set up your own e-commerce shop, and Positionally, the smart SEO metrics for individuals and small and medium businesses. Then we also focus on mobile, and we invested in a very weird brand and weird name. It's called Kekemeke. Yeah? Nobody knows what does it mean exactly. It's a loyalty program for mobile, and Gimme, which is the mobile flea market. Yeah? And the next 2 are coming soon. So basing on my experience, I have to say that those 3 roles are completely different. Yeah? So you can expect different things as being an entrepreneur, business angel, or venture capital. Being an entrepreneur, you focus on one thing. You have your own company, which is in fact, your life. You're thinking about it like being on holidays, in the bathroom, or in the cinema. So this is this is your universe, yeah. And you develop the unique skills of being the entrepreneur. Then being a business angel is a bit different, because on the one hand you're still a bit entrepreneur, because the companies that you invest as a business angel, you usually invest in the friends companies, and you become friend of the founders. So you help them, you are the supporter on daily basis. You are not a lead investor, you are just a supporter, and you invest your own money, so you are responsible only in front of yourself, yeah? And you do not have the huge responsibility over the company, because you're not a lead investor, you're a supporter. And being the venture capital is completely on the other side of being entrepreneur and being the business angel. So being venture capital, you have complete the focus on so many projects, yeah? So during the week you have like, I don't know, 10 or dozens of projects calling you, asking for help, for money. So it's really hard to maintain your portfolio, especially if you are used to focusing on one thing and delivering the results, yeah? And you're also responsible for this company because you're the lead investor. So you in fact keep this company in life, yeah? But it gives you the huge knowledge about the whole market, yeah? Because you have so many meetings, you meet so many projects that in a very short time you have a great view over many sectors, yeah? But working on those 3 roles, you have always one goal, yeah? This goal is to build the next rising star, so a 100 million company. So how to do that, yeah? And what in fact determines the great company, the rising star, yeah? So in my opinion, we could talk about like lots of things like marketing, product, idea, IT, etc. But let's try to keep it very simple, yeah? I think like the great company, and every company, consists of 2 things. One is the people, and then the rest, yeah? The rest is all the stuff, yeah? So product, sales, marketing, solution, etc., yeah? But let's start talking about the first issue, so the team. So in my opinion, basing on my experience, like people and the founders, it's like 70% of success in long run. I believe in the saying that a good team will be successful with very difficult and poor project, and the bad team will fail even with like easy and let's say very competitive project, yeah? Because in the long run, in like 6, 7, 8 years, you have so many like obstacles, so many changes, so many challenges that you need to handle, that only a good team can do that, yeah? So when we look at the founders, at the team, we look at like few basic issues, yeah? So and like the best team we can determine in few aspects. So definitely we need to have a super smart people, yeah? Super smart people, I mean, we can like, it's really hard to determine it at the first meeting, yeah? But when I call one of my portfolio companies after 6 months after investment, and they say, okay, we don't have time for you because we are busy, we are working, okay? And you do not have right now anything that could help us, I'm happy, yeah? That's the best team, yeah? The team that you always have to work with, you need to help them, is not a good team, yeah? So if they're focusing on their own project, they should be better than you, they should know very fast what's this business about, and they should be smarter in it and have bigger knowledge than you. Then we are looking also for people that are hardworking, but also a bit lazy, yeah? So you have teams that focus on the huge feature or product for half a year, but without knowing if it makes sense, yeah? Like, it's very typical for IT in the beginning, yeah? So like a piece of being a bit lazy is very healthy because it makes you to like deliver the best results with minimum effort. Yeah? So having this sense makes you prioritize the tasks and the features and get the best results fast, cheap, and easy. Certainly, like we need the team to have the basic skills on board in the beginning. Later on, of course, the company will hire specialists, I don't know, marketing, sales, whatever, but the founders need to have like the basic skills that will like provide and deliver the project in the full profile, like in the initial phase. Yeah? We also want people who are self-confident and a bit arrogant. Yeah? We don't want, we want guys who argue with us, who have their own like ideas, own strategy, and really can discuss it. Yeah. What else? Like this is really crucial. So the ability to react to changes. Yeah? So even if our startup is very successful, like in the first year, like everything can change, like in the environment, in the scope of 2-3 years. Yeah, like Google can change the algorithm, or like we can, or like I don't know. There's a need to change the business model, or the competitor from US has entered our market. So the team that can react to changes in proper way, it's crucial. Yeah, like I saw so many startups that I was sure that they will collapse, yeah? That we even wanted to close, and in a 6-month or 1-year period, they became very successful. Yeah? It's really typical for this sector. We also want people that are very competitive, yeah? So they want to scale their business, and they want to prove something to themselves and to others. They want to win, yeah? So we want winners. It also happens that there are founders who do not want to scale up their business. Yeah? They're afraid of scaling, of building their business, because they're afraid of changes. They're afraid of, I don't know, hiring 100 or 200 people, because they're afraid that they will not be able to manage that. So we want winners. We don't want people who want to have the safe business and just leave it as it is. And then, in the end, we want people who are mature, yeah? So they can delegate their duties. It's really hard at some point, because in the first phase, you're developing your startup. You're responsible for all the major processes, and at some point, you need to hire people who are smarter than you and give them your duties. And for many people, it's hard. Okay, like how come I should like hire someone who's smarter than me? I'm the smartest. Yeah. So that's very typical for founders. And this is the level. This is the phase that if you come over, then the startup gets the acceleration. So if you are able to hire great people who are smarter than you and have the feeling that it's cool to have people smarter than you working for you, for your own business. Yeah? So I would say that all those aspects that I just thought about like describes the founders who are leaders. I would say that the word leader is can be determined by the things that I just said. Okay, but the problem is that when we meet the project and when we meet the team in the beginning, we don't know all those issues. Yeah, so we don't know if they will react to changes properly, if they are mature, if they are super smart. All those issues will probably come up later. Yeah, so we can have the feeling to the team, but we don't know that, yeah? But we know other issues. So let's move to the aspect that we can that we can analyze and we can measure in the beginning to decide if we want to invest in this project or we want to build it or join it. Yeah. So I would say that so all the things, so the rest that I just said about, we can also very simplify and put into just few aspects. Yeah. So there's a problem, so we need to, like the team and the project need to identify the problem that they want to solve. Yeah? Then if they identify the problem, then the crucial issue is like, what's the size and the value of this problem that we want to solve, and how many customers or businesses are having this problem. Yeah? So if we identify those three issues, yeah, then we have the strategy how to build your company. So the problem, the solution, the size of the problem, and how many customers, how many people are having this problem. Yeah? So when we look at the at this structure of like examining the business, we can come to the solution that there are only 5 ways to build a 100 million company in revenue or in equity. So this infogram shows like 5 animals, which in fact like determines the size and different strategy how to become successful with your business. So the first option to get 100 million revenue a year is to acquire 10 million customers that they will provide us $10 a year. Yeah? So that's the fly strategy. The second strategy is the mouse strategy, which is a bit bigger animal than fly. So we need 1 million mice that will provide us $100 a year. Then we have a rabbit, so we need 100,000 rabbits, and every rabbit should have like at least $1,000 in their pocket. Then we have the deer strategy, so we need 10,000 deers that we solve the problem of the deer, and the deer is so happy that will give us $10,000 a year for this solution. And then the elephant strategy, so we need only 1,000 elephants, but every elephant will pay us $100,000. So let's get to the fly strategy. Yeah? So as I said, building the company with fly strategy, we need 10 million active consumers or users who you monetize at $10 per year, probably at selling ads. Yeah? So to get 10 million active consumers, we need to like provide to our website at least 100 million users visiting our site or trying our application. Yeah? So it's a huge number, and there are in fact only 2 options that are possible, that are known like on the market. The one is that you are extremely viral. Yeah? So the very good example is WhatsApp, Snapchat, or Instagram. And the other option is that you produce like tons of user-generated content. Yeah? So the best example is it's Wikipedia or Brenly.com, which I'm also the investor in. Yeah? So that's the fly strategy. Then let's move to the mouse strategy. Okay, so to be successful with this, we need 1 million users paying us $100 per year. To get 1 million users with the certain conversion rate of let's say like 5 to 10%, we need to like get and acquire 10 to 20 million users trying our application or visiting our shop or our site. Yeah? And to get to this level, we need to have either a very good consumer product. Yeah? So it's a product which is like targeting individuals and consumers, not businesses, because we are talking about the really huge numbers of users. So a very good example is, for example, Evernote or MailChimp. So it's easy but very good consumer product, and we need the decent level of virality. So not probably so strong as with the fly strategy, but it has to be leverage for growth. And then definitely we need huge marketing spendings. And the mouse strategy is typical for very simple software as a service products. So as I said, MailChimp or Evernote, or it's typical for e-commerce. Yeah? But with e-commerce, usually to get to such a level of scale, we need to have a huge marketing budget. Then we have the rabbit strategy, which in fact is very typical for most of the SaaS projects, like let's say 80 or 90% of software as a service projects are in fact using this strategy. Yeah? So to be 100 million equity or revenue SaaS project, we need 100,000 small businesses, because this is the target group that we are focusing on, paying us around 1,000 euro per year. Usually, like the average monthly fee from of SaaS project, it's like around $100, which gives us 1,000 per year. But to get to such a huge level of paying customers and such a huge monthly recurring revenue, we need to have at least 1 to 2 million signups. Yeah? That's extremely huge, huge number. And let's make a very simple calculation. Yeah? So what we need, how much we should pay to get 1 to 2 million signups. Yeah? So let's assume that if we acquire the customer, his lifetime value is between 2 and 3 years with $1,000 annual payment. We can say that the value of the customer that we acquire, it's $2,700. So every customer that will come to our platform and sign up and pay, in the long run, will pay us $2,700. So if we want to have the healthy relation of the customer long-term value, if the relation of the value to the cost per acquisition, which is like the healthy ratio is about 4 times, we need to, in fact, pay for the customer $675, and with the conversion rate from trial to paid, which is also like in average like 10%, we can pay like, let's say, around $70 per sign up. Yeah? It's a huge amount. Yeah? So this is the reality of SaaS projects. This market is so much competitive that using AdWords, Facebook, or paid channels, like those projects need to pay in average around $70 for someone who will just sign up to their platform. If you want, of course, to get with the level of 1 to 2 million signups, yeah? Because in the beginning it's probably cheaper, but this number will grow in long term. So in fact, $70 is too much to just use such channels as AdWords or Facebook. So the only solution for software as a service projects to be successful with rabbit strategy is to have the excellent product and very successful inbound marketing. So as you probably noticed, most of the SaaS projects right now focus on inbound marketing or big partnerships. It also happens that a project can find a partner which will help him to get to the level of 1 to 2 million signups. Okay, so the next animal is a deer. Yeah, so the deer strategy is very similar to the rabbit strategy, and very often the SaaS projects move in a time from the one strategy to another. So to be successful with that, we need 10,000 medium-sized companies paying us $10,000 per year. So to get to this level, we need 100,000 leads. And this strategy is very similar to rabbit hunting, but in fact, the average revenue per user being much higher enables us to create and use the sales force. Yeah? So we can create our own sales team. With the rabbit strategy, it's not possible because like the sales team would be much more expensive than the value the consumer will bring to us. In this case, we can build the sales team that will close the deals and also can generate the leads. Yeah? So very often the SaaS projects in the long run, when they develop their product, the product becomes much more sophisticated and tries to solve more sophisticated problems of the companies. So the companies are eager to pay more for this solution. Yeah? So it's very often the movement from rabbit to deer strategy. Then in the end we have the elephant strategy. And so in this case we need only 1,000 big enterprises paying us $100 per year. So $100 really seems like a huge amount as a like annual payment for a startup, for a software as a service. But if we in fact find a problem in a huge enterprise that when we solve and will bring the company like bigger value of $100,000, it's very possible because in fact just like one executive, like average salary of the executive in the big companies, it's probably more than $100,000. So if we can create a great product and solve the solution of such size, we need only 1,000 customers to have the company which is worth $100 million. Yeah. So summing up, we have like 5 animals, and when we look at the projects and when we talk to the teams, so of course we try to like analyze the quality of the founders of the team, but as I said, most of the things we don't know about how the team will perform. Yeah, so we always try to like put the project that we want to invest in the certain category. Either it's fly or rabbit or an elephant. All the like ideas and projects that are in fact in the middle they have much less smaller chances to be successful. Just the middle solutions could not work in the long term. Okay, that's also, if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. Yeah. Yeah, it's it doesn't really matter, yeah? So, for example, I invested in the typical fly strategy startup, which is Brenly, which got to the level already of like 50, 60 million users a month, yeah? And this is like a typical fly strategy. So, like the business model, as for now, is based on advertisement, and there's a great process of unique content which brings like those millions of users. Yeah? And in the other cases, for example, Positionally, so our software as a service SEO metrics tool is a typical rabbit strategy. Yeah? So the AdWords and Facebook are very expensive, and there's no sense to acquire leads through those channels. So the company focuses mainly on inbound marketing and community. Yeah? So I could say that all our projects try to follow one of those 5 strategies, but those who would be successful will probably see in the long run. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, so that's also the case. As I said, we need like the problem, solution, value of the problem, and also the number of potential customers having this problem. So if we have this number in Poland, yeah, which is very rarely, yeah, it does not happen because we are a really small market. But okay, if we have it, then we focus only on this market. But usually, at some point, like maybe not at some point, but from the early beginning, you need to think about like the bigger scope, the bigger region, because you need to acquire the certain number of consumers to be rising star. Yeah. Okay. So, thanks.